tell my dad for a week and a half, and I had 5 days to pay that ticket, and it was like $300. Not a good time. Car was a 2003 Pontiac Vibe. This bad bitch right here. Alright, so this car was originally red, and then me and my friend decided it was a good idea to spray paint it gray and then do camouflage specs on it. That wasn't a good idea, didn't do that. So about a year later I repainted it this white right here. It's all Radical with Rust-Oleum white. And then I have 2-inch spaces in the rear, 1-inch spaces up front, space out the wheels, give it a little bit of thick booty action. I have this badge delete, and then I have custom little bits done to the front bumper. I have a banner, these little releases. I have a muffler delete. I have gutted cats. I have a short ram intake. I have these fucking rotas waiting to go on. Just got to get tires and one of the rims welded. These will be on. It's lowered on Tyne S-Tech lowering springs, lowered about 2 inches. Oh yeah, shit, I have the battery relocated to the back for better weight distribution for those snow skids. I have 05 to 08 side skirts. I have a Toyota emblem on the steering wheel. I have cob shift knob. Fuck. I have a factory GM FX mid spoiler. I also deleted the door moldings on the side. I had Bondo glass, and then I had a body fill. That was fun. So before I really got into cars, my dad took me to the Detroit Auto Show down in Detroit every year maybe, and that kind of got me into it, but I wasn't hardcore. And then one day, prior to me being friends with this kid, I rode the bus with him. Never sat next to him, never really talked to him, but one day all the seats were taken, so I sat next to him, and he asked me what my favorite kind of car was. So I didn't really have an answer to give him, so I was just like, Corvette Z06. And he comes back at me with, oh, a Nissan GTR would beat that any day. And I'm like, no. And then he pursues that, and I don't know, I just kept thinking about that, and then he started talking to me about the whole Japanese car scene, German, Europe, all that stuff. And then that really pushed me into the more Japanese type cars. And then I just started watching all those like Initial D stuff and all that. That really got me into it. And I was never 16, so I didn't have a car to work on and like show my taste until I got this hoopty. And then I'm more of a Japanese boy now. I can't do American anymore. So one of my many ticket stories is in this car. I was at a friend's party, and one of them mentioned that they wanted a Thrustmaster steering wheel for an Xbox, and I was like, yo, I got one at my house, so I'm gonna go grab it quick. So I took one of my friends with me. He's never ridden in this car, so I decided I would take him snow drifting for funsies. And took him there, he enjoyed it, I enjoyed it, it was a blast. Went back to my house, grabbed it, headed back to their party, started getting late, and I headed home. Mind you, this is past my curfew. I was 16, so I had to be home at 10 o'clock. But it was like 12:30-ish at night. I was driving back home, saw the same parking lot, decided I would do it again. In my head, I thought it would be a bad idea, but my young kid mind was like, I'm doing it. So I went in there, did a couple of drifts, linked a couple more corners. I linked one perfectly, and I saw the red and blues in my rearview mirror, and I immediately stopped my car, shut it off, rolled my window down, had my license and registration ready. So the cop walked up to my window, and he asked me if I knew why he pulled me over. And I was like, yeah. It's like, so why were you doing that? And I was like, honestly, I was just trying to have some fun. I know it's stupid, probably shouldn't have done it. And he asked me for my license and registration, I handed it to him. And he goes on and tells me he was a kid once, he knows why I did it, and then he goes and says, but you have to realize you're in a front-wheel drive 4-cylinder. And I was kind of shook by that, to be honest. But then he goes and says, honestly, you weren't doing that bad for front-wheel drive. And then I had a little smirk, and then he went back to his car, wrote me my ticket, gave it back to me. It's careless driving. He said he could have gave me one for being out past curfew, and I would have gone to court and gone through a whole dilemma, but he cut me a break, kind of. And then I lived at home. I went 2,000 RPM shift, 2,000 shift, slowest I could go, parked it, and then I was so nervous I didn't tell my dad for a week and a half. And I had 5 days to pay that ticket, and it was like $300. Not a good time.